Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Excuse me. Sal, Kitty Coo, good evening. I hope we all had a great weekend. I am doing well. Didn't do a whole heck of a lot this weekend. And that's exactly what I had planned. Not to do a lot. I am doing well, Gemma. I am doing well. I planned later on tonight to watch your video of the 12 years since that diagnosis. Lemon pie. Good evening. I just didn't get a chance to get around to doing it today because I was editing another video. Our snow has turned into freezing rain. Oh, hope the power stays on. I hope the power stays on as well. And most of my family avoided the direct hit of that storm coming across the U.S. Most of my family lives in the northern part of Minnesota, Wisconsin. I mean, they already have snow, but they just didn't get hit with this front coming through. It's cold here, there, and getting colder. Ready for spring. I think we're all ready for spring. I know myself. I'm ready for spring. Tamara, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Yeah, I definitely will watch it later on, Gemma. I was editing a video that's supposed to go out tomorrow. And I got I hate this. So I got the whole video done, edited, and then I uploaded it to YouTube. And then after I was done, I was putting all the papers away. And the very last page, I was like, crap, I wanted to put that in the video. And they didn't film it, nothing. So now I have to decide, do I just leave it out and add it to the next video, or what do I do? Little Linda, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great weekend. Glad you could be here with us tonight for trivia. Give it about another minute and a half here, and then we'll get everything going. Inner Peas, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All the trivia questions tonight are on the television show, The Jersey Shore. We've made fun of them for multiple years now, so I figure I might as well finally do a trivia night about the Jersey Shore and the crimes and the drama of the Jersey Shore. So most of the questions, the 20 questions, we'll deal with the crimes that are just the Jersey Shore. And you should be surprised that this stuff actually passes as entertainment on television. Because I know I was. And yes, as I told everybody yesterday in the stream, I have now officially watched 6 episodes of the show. 6. I picked one from the first season, one from the middle, and a couple towards the end, and then one of each of the spin-offs. And there are more to come. Where's the beach? All right, another 10 seconds here and we'll get this going. I had to run upstairs and turn my bed warmer on. It's cold as balls here in West Virginia. I'm sorry. Good evening, Purple. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All right, let's get this going. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 337th episode of Trivia Night. 337th episode. Tonight is all on the Jersey Shore, the Drama and Crime edition. Welcome. If you're new here, I would like to welcome you to Sunday Night Trivia. This is a fun, relaxed group of people who are here to have fun and learn something new. You don't have to keep score. You don't have to do much of anything. Just sit back and relax, basically. Be on live chat, not all chat. Treat others as you wish to be treated. Get out of hand, and I'll bounce you so fast, your ISP will cry for you, and your first cousin will want to marry you again. So just don't break the rules. Be a decent person to others you see in the chat. Next, I will show you how this game is actually, Trivia Night is actually run. To help clarify the questions that a lot of people don't understand about it, here's an example of what each and every one of the trivia questions looks like. There will be a picture that will be on the right-hand side, and this picture may not correspond with the actual question. It is not to be used as, oh, that's a picture of Snooki, so the answer must be Snooki. No, the picture may be used to fool you. And I do this on purpose. It's not a mistake. Then next below there, you'll see the questions numbered 1 through 20. And then the answers A, B, C, D, or E. Otherwise, seen as other on the page. So you'll see A, and then an answer, B, and then an answer, C, D, and E is always other. Other is you can fill in whatever you want as a comical answer for E. It doesn't have to, it's not going to be right, most likely. I would say like a 99.9% of the chance it's not going to be right, but it could be a very comical answer. All right, this program documents and covers actual crimes and offenses by criminals. Some of the content covered here may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Question number 1 is now on your screen. Public intoxication. In season 3, who was arrested and charged with the charge of public intoxication and disorderly conduct? Was it A, Mike the Situation Sorrentino, B, Jenny J. Wow Farley, C, Polly D. Del Vecchio, D, Nicole Snooki Polizzi, or E, other? Yes, it very well may be comical and correct if you want. Spectacular. Which individual was arrested and charged with public intoxication and disorderly conduct in season 3? Question number 1 of 20. And tonight, I am drinking Liquid Death Rest in Peach. This is the peach flavored water that they have. I like this stuff. And no, that is not a paid advertisement, but if Liquid Death wants to support me, I'll do content for you. I will. Come on, Liquid Death. Let's do a sponsorship. Inner Peas, E, Pee Wee Herman. Cameron going with E, Barry Morphew and a Yugo smoking, frack with a mountain lion. Snookster. As much as I make fun of it, I won't actually get these right. LOL. Lemon Pie. I had never seen a single episode until I started to sit down and actually buckle down and put this together. I started it months ago, and I had like maybe 4 or 5 questions here and there that I had come up with that I could verify. And then I had to sit down and say, okay, I'm never going to get this one done unless I buckle down and actually go through it And along with that was I was like, I've got to do it. I have to force myself to watch some episodes. Now, if you like the Jersey Shore, you can go ahead and give me in this entire thing a thumbs down if you think that I'm being mean to them or whatever. I mean, the Jersey Shore television show and reality TV is not for me. I'm not a fan of any of it. I am less inclined to watch people on a show act like a bunch of drunken fools for 6 seasons and then 2 spin-off seasons and then another season and then see 2 more shows in development. But that's just not me. Okay, question number 1. The correct answer is D as in dog. Nicole Snooki. Hi, Nora. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Nora Woods. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. All right. Question number 2. Domestic violence. Which cast member was accused of domestic violence allegations in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2017, 2018, and again in 2022? Was it A, Sammy Sweetheart Giannicola, B, Ronnie Rizzi Ortiz Magro? I think that's supposed to be Magro. I think it's supposed to be an R in there. I'll have to check my notes. But C, Vinny Mr. V Guadagnino, or D, Joey Camasta, or E, other. And I am truly sorry if I'm butchering these names. Yeah. On this show, they don't ever say each other's last names. They call themselves by their nicknames or first names. So this is kind of like the first time I'm ever really saying them out loud. I'm like, oh, Joey, oh, D, or Mr. D, Mr. V, or V, or whatever their nicknames may be. Snooki, Sweetheart, Mr. Incredible. That's how they refer to themselves on the show, or by their first names. Ronnie was a meanie. Good evening, Callie Lisa. And Lemon Pie is going to go with E, Alex Baldwin. Domestic violence, question number 2 of 20. Which cast member was accused of domestic violence allegations in multiple years? Stephen Douchebag Seagal, who, by the way, is a real sheriff's deputy. Yes, Steven Seagal. Not only has he been making really crappy direct-to-DVD movies for the last 20 years, he's actually a law enforcement officer in New Orleans area. He's a real sheriff's officer. Smoke him if you got him. All right, question number 2. The correct answer is B as in boy, Ronnie Rizzi Ortiz Magro. I'm almost 100% sure that before we go on, I'm going to look it up. Yes, it's supposed to be Magro, Magro, Ronnie Ortiz Magro. I'm sorry, I missed the R in the spelling of his name there. That is my bad. Wade Wilson. Not the Deadpool guy. E says in a mountain lion, Barry Morphew. Question number 3. Public intoxication and disorderly conduct. In season 6, this cast member was seen dancing in the street, arrested and charged. Was it A, Nicole Snooki Polizzi, or B, Angelina Pervechnik, or E, Joey, D, Deanna, or E, other? I'm just going to go with their first names and stop butchering their last names. Public intoxication and disorderly conduct in season 6. The last one was about question was about season 3. Now here we are 3 seasons later. Who was arrested and charged with public intoxication and disorderly conduct in season 6? The Jersey Shore edition. Question number 3 of 20. D, but maybe A again. How do all of you know? Did you watch the show? I, Calalisa, have only seen 6 episodes of the actual Jersey Shore. I forced myself as I was putting together this trivia night to actually watch some of it. We've been making fun of the Jersey Shore and the cast members for close to 2 years, if not more. But I had never seen the show, and while putting this trivia together, and if you're wondering about how do I know the answers to all these questions, there's actually a trivia game that is out there of just reality TV. And I went through and each and every one of the questions and the verification for each one of them for the Jersey Shore. Yeah, I had to do that. I did that for you, the viewer, so you don't have to. Cameron says, my daughter used to watch it, so I heard a lot. Yeah, Lisa, I haven't seen any episodes. All I know is what I hear in the news about them. And there's a lot. It's online about their crimes. Oh, yeah, it is. All right, question number 3. The correct answer is D, as in dog, and it just happens to be D for Deanna Cortez, or Cortez. Was the one in season 6 that was arrested for drunken public intoxication and disorderly conduct. Did you know during the show's run, including the spin-offs and reboots of the show, Vinny had different nicknames. In some episodes, they overdubbed a different nickname because it fit with the conversation better. His nicknames were the Keto Guido, Mr. V, or just V. If you actually slow the episodes down, and I found one of them in particular in season number 6, when one of the other guests at the house, they were all talking about going out to a club to go clubbing. And I found the actual episode with this example in it where you can see the one person speaking to Vinny, and he says something, and you watch his lips, it doesn't match with the track. And you could tell that there's just a slightest bit of audio difference in clarity on that one part where they've actually did this. So you have to be like one of those diehard fans to try to notice these things, or you probably wouldn't even notice it. But did you know that? Question number 4. Fraud. Which cast member was charged with filing false workers' comp claims, then had the charges dropped? Was it A, Vinny, B, Angelina, C, Chris, D, Lauren, or E, other? Fraud. Which cast member was charged with filing false workers' compensation claims, then had the charges dropped? Oh, yeah. Lemon pie. I actually have 35 of them in front of me. And there's only 20 questions on tonight's trivia, but I have 35 of them that I actually wrote down and printed out. Probably a lot more than that if I actually go through all the notes. I broke them down into 3 different categories: crimes committed on screen, crimes committed off screen, and then crimes committed by the cast that had nothing to do with the show. Crimes that they committed on their own in their own time. So on screen, off screen, where those would affect what was actually being shown on the show, and then crimes where they were off screen and they did it by themselves. RuPaul, says Lemon Pie. Vinny Barbarino. Hey, what you talking about? I like Vinny Barbarino from Welcome Back, Kotter. Vinny Barbarino. All right, question number 4. The correct answer is B. Angelina Pervenecki had filed bogus workers' comp claims. They originally had charged her with the actual crime of filing bogus workers' compensation claims, but then dropped them. She, however, on the show said that they were actually valid when she was speaking with Snooki about the actual charges itself. But they dropped it. I don't know if they ever paid them out, but all I know is they dropped the charges, and maybe they decided they probably couldn't, there wasn't enough evidence to prosecute her on it, or she bought her way out of it. I don't know, or she has every one of the members of the show has a high paid attorney. And you'll find out just how much these people got per episode of this show later on. Question number 5. Mob connected. Of all the cast members listed below, which one has the largest connection to organized crime? Was it A, Zach Clayton Capranello, B, Mike the Situation Sorrentino, C, Sammy Sweetheart Giannicola, D, Nicole Snooki Polizzi, or E, other? Which one has the closest connection to organized crime, the mob? All were trash. I still watched FLM. Good evening, Karen. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Tonight we are playing the Jersey Shore edition of Crime Trivia. Mob connected is question number 5. Make sure you are on live chat, not all chat. Again, it all depends on what device you are on. You may see live chat, top chat, or, one of the others. Just make sure if you have the option of live chat, you're on live chat. We got C, 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 and C, and C. People think that Sammy Sweetheart Giannicola is the most mob connected. Question number 5. Snookers was adopted as a child in an orphanage in Colombia, South America. Lemon Pie. Lemon Pie's going with Pat Sajak. Yeah, I always had questions about that Pat Sajak. He was a little too clean cut to be doing Wheel of Fortune. The Fonz. A Fonzarelli from Happy Days. All right, question number 5. The correct answer is A as in apple. Zach Clayton Capranello is the one that has the closest mob connection. His uncle from his father's side actually served time in prison for organized crime. And if you're wondering what the organized crime connection is, it was in the construction business. But Zach Clayton Capranello's uncle served time for organized crime. He was convicted of crime. It's actually payoffs and stuff like that. But it would take longer to go through each and every one of the allegations, but they were able to prove fraud and money laundering against him. He did a total of, according to my notes here, 2.5 years in the federal penitentiary. And of the 2.5 years that he did, that was on a 5-year bid. He was released early. Obviously, there's no good time in the federal system. All right, let's see. Question number six. Tax evasion. Which cast member was arrested and convicted of tax evasion, getting sentenced to less than 10% of the standard sentencing range? Again, it pays to have high-powered, and powerful attorneys. Was it A, Nicole Snooki Polizzi, B, Deanna, C, Mike, C, D, Ronnie, or E, other? Tax evasion. Which cast member was arrested and convicted of tax evasion, getting sentenced to less than 10% of the standard sentencing range? Zach wasn't on the Jersey Shore. He may have been on one on, well, it's still the Jersey Shore. He may have been on the Jersey Shore Vacation. Let me check. Zach Clayton Capernello, Jay Wow's boyfriend and eventual husband, appeared in later seasons of the revival of Jersey Shore. He was in the revival of the actual show itself. He was not on the Family Vacation or the Snooki and Jay Wow show. He was in the revival seasons, is what my notes say here. So I guess that, again, regardless, he is still considered a cast member. He's listed as one of the 15 total cast members. But that's what my notes I wrote down here are. Jay Wow's boyfriend and eventual husband appeared in later seasons of the revival of Jersey Shore. Not Family Vacation or Snooki and Jay Wow show. Well, he could have been in the other ones. That's just what I wrote down. I could be wrong. I'll freely admit that. Some of these people, I had no idea who they were. I'm not joking. The only person in this entire show that I ever heard of was Chris Buckner. That's the only one that I knew that was somewhat, respectable, I guess. Or who wasn't, didn't make a complete ass of themselves on the show. And I'm sorry again for all those people out there that are fans of the show, but a lot of these people on the show did make complete asses of themselves a lot. But Chris Buckner is the only one that I knew who he was, from outside of the show that I'd heard of before. You quit watching after season 4? Same old? All right, question number 6. The correct answer is C. C as in cat. Mike the Situation Sorrentino was the one who was arrested and charged and convicted of tax evasion. He received less than 10% of the sentencing range for tax evasion. If me or you or anyone else that that is here in the stream tonight, if we would have done the same thing, they would have thrown the effing book at us, and it would have hit us so hard we'd still be laying on the ground. But no, he got off pretty damn easy. I don't know what it cost him for that attorney that fought for him in federal court, but it had to be costly. Did you know the total of alcohol drank on the show? Those that hated the show never complained about them getting smashed drunk, driving cars, and causing disturbance of the peace or damaging rental properties. The people only complained about Ronnie Ortiz Magro and his anger. It was estimated that during the run of the show, the cast consumed thousands of bottles of alcohol over 6 seasons. I didn't put that actual figure together. We'll learn more about that as we go on, and who actually did and sit down and watch all of it and everything else and try to figure out just how much alcohol they all consumed. Question number 7 of 20. Assault and battery with great bodily harm. Which knucklehead has gotten into over a dozen fights during the original show's run? Was it A, Ronnie Ortiz Magro, B, Chris Buckner, C, Zach Clayton Capernello, D, Paulie D. Del Vecchio, or E, other? JWoww was a biatch. He had his ass ets in JWoww's breast implants, Will. Question number 7 of 20. Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch. Has anybody watched any of the new Sesame Streets? It ain't the old Sesame Street that you grew up watching. It is not the same at all. I've actually turned it on and sat there and watched it with my son. Especially, a couple weeks back, the last time I watched an episode with him. He's more of a Daniel the Tiger fan, but we did watch an episode of Sesame Street. Oscar don't live in no trash can anymore, ladies and gentlemen. So many of the people who were on the show are still there. Like the Count and Mr. Snuffleupagus and Big Bird. And some of the mainstream characters are still on the show, but they're not the same as they used to be. It's not. What happened, Will? With Oscar the Grouch? Oscar don't live in a trash can no more. That's my entire point of that. He's still a Grouch. He don't live in no trash can no more. All right, question number 7. The correct answer is A. A as in apple. Ronnie Ortiz Magro got into over a dozen physical altercations with, and assault batteries with great bodily harm. Question number 8, property damage. Every cast member broke, destroyed parts of their rental homes on the show, but one. Which one did not from the list from below? Which one from below did not commit property crimes, destroying their rental homes? Was it A, Angelina, B, Nicole, C, Chris, or D, Jen, or E, other? Which one did not destroy the rental homes or damage the rental homes that they lived in on the show? Will, did Oscar finally get a condo from his GoFundMe? I don't remember anything about GoFundMe, but Oscar don't live in no trash can anymore. And the grocer, when I was young, at least the earliest memories I have of the grocer, he was either Korean or maybe he was Japanese or Asian in descent, but I don't, so forgive me for not remembering exactly, what the grocer was. Then the grocer went to an African American man, and then it went to a Hispanic lady, I believe. But it's just not, the show's not the same. I mean, I'm sure that my son still got benefit out of the, watching, the alphabet and some of the other things that they had going on the show. I'm sure it's still beneficial for children. It's just not the same, it doesn't have the same feel as it did when I was a kid. Maybe that's just me looking through, my, rose colored glasses. So, Mr. Rogers, Joy, Joy Bar. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Wonderful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Neighbor. Hello, neighbor. All right. The only member of the show who did not destroy their rental property was C, as in cat, Chris Buckner. Every single one of the members, even if you believe and you want to argue the point that they owned the property that they were in, they did not. Even if they tried to make people believe that it was theirs, every single home that every single member of the Jersey Shore lived in was a rented property. None of them owned any of that. It was all set up for reality TV purposes, and they are all rental homes. Chris Buckner is the only one. They briefly showed it in one episode, his actual home. But according to the actual cast, the management, and those who work behind the scenes on the show, he's the only one that did not alter or destroy their rental property. Question number 9, tax evasion. Who else was sentenced to tax evasion besides Mike the Situation Sorrentino? Who else? Was it A, Jen, B, Sammy, C, Lauren, D, Mark, or E, other? Who else besides the Situation was sentenced on tax evasion charges? Who the heck is Chris? Making me look it up, huh? Chris Buckner is a friend of Snooki who occasionally appeared as a guest on the Jersey Shore, along with the Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and was in 2 episodes, including the original pilot. That is who Chris Buckner is. Out of the Shadows with Ginger. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Out of the Shadows with Ginger. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. We are currently on question number 9 of 20. Make sure you are on live chat if you can. At the top right-hand corner, you'll see an option for drop down for either live chat, top chat, or all chat. If you have the option to click on live chat, click on that. That way you won't fall behind in the actual questions and answers as they're coming through. All right. Tax evasion. The other person, along with the Situation, that was arrested and charged and convicted of tax evasion was D, as in dog, Mark Sorrentino. The Situation's brother was also charged and convicted of tax evasion. Question number 10. Ronnie Ortiz Magro was not only arrested for domestic violence, he was also charged with which of the following in 2019? Was it A, check fraud, B, kidnapping, C, supplying alcohol to a minor, or D, DUI, or E, other? Question number 10 of 20. Ronnie Ortiz Magro was not only arrested for domestic violence, he was also charged with which from below in 2019. Good. A lot of people, they assume if they click on all chat that it's going to show the feed as it goes along. And it doesn't. It's kind of like it lags behind. But I'm glad you're on live chat. Question number 10 of 20. Mattress tag tear off. Loitering. Oh, there's that loitering again. Stuffing tube stocks in his brief boxers. Fraud. Urinating in public. What else was Ronnie Ortiz arrested for and charged with in 2019? Crotch fraud. Impersonating a human being, says Out of the Shadows. Question number 10 of 20. All right. The answer to question number 10 is B, as in boy. He was charged with domestic violence and kidnapping in 2019 against his girlfriend at the time. Kidnapping. He is someone who is up for Humanitarian of the Year award. All right, that is the first 10 questions. As we do every week, I'm going to read the history, and then we are going to take a break. History, you should know. There are 3 tiers of pay for cast members on reality TV shows. The bottom tier makes $15,000 to $30,000 per episode. Ladies and gentlemen, the top tier is shows like the Jersey Shore. They were paid between $135,000 and $225,000 per episode. You times that times 6 seasons. Then the spin-off shows that came after it, the Revisited and the specials, and each and every one of the family vacation episodes, and then the Snooki and JWoww show. You put it all together, they were making between $135,000 and $225,000 per episode. What? Yeah. All right, it is now our break time. Like we do every week, after 10 questions, we take a 6-minute break. You do you for the next 6 minutes. Smoke a bowl, drink a bottle of whiskey, shotgun a couple of beers, make a sandwich, use the facilities. You do whatever you need to do within the next 6 minutes. No, they're not, Lemon Pie. Ruh-roh, kidnapping. Yep. Yikes, I need to reevaluate my life choices. I don't make that. Better start drinking and tanning. Right? I'd even take the bottom tier, the 15 to 30,000. Yeah, that'd be cool as heck. 15,000, you times that by how many episodes per season, and then you extrapolate that out over 6 seasons, and even if you don't make the 2 spinoffs, and the specials and the revisited. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what these people are making per episode. And I verified that with the IMDb and with the Screen Actors Guild, along with the actual trivia game where the question came up. I'll feed my dog, says Callie Lisa. I usually make an ass out of myself for free. Need to start charging money for it. So do I. I mean, maybe we should carry around a camera all day long and film ourselves. Making an ass of ourselves. It might be a reality show in there. To say that the Jersey Shore and a lot of reality TV is scripted is an understatement. Warming up my Hopping John's rice and cornbread. Sounds good. We could all be YouTube meatballs. I mean, think about it though. A lot of the people that are in, more popular, have hundreds of thousands of subscribers or million subscribers on YouTube. I've met probably about 24, and I would say about 50% of the ones that I've met, about 50%, right around there, are not the same person that they come across as on online. They may come across as, on a wholesome, YouTube creator, and they're far, far from it. It's all an act to so many. Yeah, the meatballs. That's in my notes. I knew what you meant. The meatball crew. Not in that one. We got a little bit more than a minute left. Not in that one. Next. Third and final one. Got to be in this one. There it is. JWoww. JWoww and Snooki. The meatball. I'm way too old to exert the energy to pretend to be anything. I would forget who I am pretending to be. right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So this is the first trivia night of the year. In this section here, I was supposed to have crime books and reviews. But in the past week, it came out that those who have been using Honey as an affiliate link, along with other affiliate links that are connected to the PayPal affiliate link center, we found out that the whole damn thing is a scam, and that they have been redirecting and keeping the affiliate money that was due to creators. I have now joined the class action lawsuit. If you want, the link there is to Legal Eagle's YouTube channel. He is a real attorney and a YouTube creator for content, but I can't put the link in that I was planning to put a book and then an affiliate link to that book in. Well, I can't do that now because if you use the link that I was going to use with Honey, I'm not going to get paid. So again, I contacted Legal Eagle, and I have joined as a member of the class action lawsuit against Honey and PayPal. In case you're not aware of it, PayPal purchased Honey a couple of years back. So they are one of the many companies underneath the PayPal top company. They're the parent company, and everybody else is listed below them. They're just one of the different ones that are out there that use affiliate links to for the creator to get paid. I was telling people in the last stream that when I do that and I put the affiliate links in, I mean, if the book costs like $9, I make about maybe 3 to 9 cents, depending upon where it's being the total price of the purchase is for that affiliate link. Well, turns out I wasn't even going to get that, because now they were actually redirecting it and saying, look, instead of my link, they were replacing the link that my affiliate link with their own link, so it looked like that they were the ones that were sending the customer to that purchase. So we gotta wait till this all shakes out and see what happens. I might look into another one that is Capital One or something like that, but as far as I know right now, none of the other affiliate link programs have been accused of doing anything like this. Just Honey right now. But again, we're in the beginning stages of it. So the last week and a half, this has all been coming on out there in the internet and in the news. So BB Beyond Amazing, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. But you can, if you're watching this afterwards, you can click on the YouTube link there. That is to Legal Eagle's video about it. He does a terrific job of explaining what the entire class action is about. And quickly, it's not just for creators. It could be for you as well. If you thought that or you used Honey, you could join the entire class action suit as well if you used Honey. All right. You don't have to answer this poll question. It'll be on the community tab tomorrow. I'm just not going to link it back to trivia night like I did last time, because when I linked it back to it, it got shadow banned. Basically, nobody saw it in a nutshell, because last week's trivia, when I posted the question, this trivia question, not this one, but another one, I got a yellow icon for the trivia, which means limited ads and monetization for last week's trivia. So when I put that link in, it automatically made it so nobody could see the damn poll question on the community tab. But this is a poll question that'll be there Monday. Again, I just won't link it to the actual trivia, but that was my entire intention, was to link it to the trivia. But anyways, should all court cases be aired on television? including child custody cases and divorces, is the trivia question that I'll be posting again tomorrow, on the community tab here on YouTube. Yes, no, it depends on the case, or I have no opinion on this question. You don't have to answer it right now. You can answer it tomorrow. It's not part of trivia night. My intention was to draw more attention to trivia by using the poll question and a link to the trivia, but won't be making that mistake again. All right. Question number 11. They can't all go to rehab at the same time. Otherwise, there would be no show. What substance did Mike the Situation abuse? Was it A, alcohol, B, prescription drugs, C, mountain lion urine, D, sweet black tar heroin, or E, other? They can't all go to rehab at the same time. Otherwise, there would be no show. What substance did Mike the Situation abuse? Juicy Jules. Good evening, Juicy Jules. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a terrific weekend. Question number 11 of 20. Don't forget, after trivia, give me about an additional 7 to 8 minutes while I present you cases of people who are missing and endangered from across America. Where I work with the Charlie Project, NAMUS, the FBI, local law enforcement, and the Center for Missing and Exploited Children to cast light on missing children and adults across the United States. Some of them have been missing for a while. Some of them have been missing only for a short period of time. But I'm shining a spotlight on these cases because just because they're yesterday's news doesn't mean that they should be forgotten tomorrow. E, addicted to the gym and looking at his own reflection. Gayla. Good evening, Gayla. Hello, everyone. Just stopped in to say hello. Still down and out. I'm sorry. Well, I hope you get better soon, Gayla. I'm sure your husband's running low on snickerdoodles. Steven Seagal movie star in Cop. Wow. But all kidding aside, Gayla, I really do hope you start to feel better soon. Being sick sucks. I do. I got a little vector in my house. Kids go to school and they collect up every possible, variation of the cold and the flu, and then they bring it home and they share it with their families. Yay! Question number 11. What was Mike the Situation? What substance did he abuse? The correct answer to question 11 is B as in boy, prescription drugs. And yes, Mike the Situation actually attended outpatient and some inpatient therapy to get over his addiction to actual prescription drugs. It was not just pain medication, opioids. It was other things as well on top of it. But Mike the Situation, at least he understood that he had an issue with it and sought out help. So you got to give him kudos there. Question number 12. Driving while intoxicated. Frankly, I figured this was the entire cast. However, which one got their second DUI in 2018? Was it A, Nicole, B, Jenny, C, Deanna, or D, Sammy, or E, other? Which one got their second DUI in 2018? Did he seek treatment from Dr. Drew? I don't think so, but that's funny. The only thing I ever see Dr. Drew doing these days is pushing weight loss exercise commercials and railing against people who he believes are not informed correctly on political matters. I see those videos that pop up on my feed all the time. Does he even do therapy anymore? I don't know. I mean, that's an honest answer. I mean, I really don't know if he does. I'm sure he probably is in private practice somewhere. Stephen Hawking. Lemon pie. Stephen Hawking got his second DUI in 2018. Oh my God. I want to say C, but not sure she can even reach the pedals. I mean, Deanna is about the same size as Snooki, isn't she? I mean, Jenny, Nicole, and Deanna. I mean, they're shorter ladies, but I have no clue, says Kitty Q. I'm guessing. Can't reach the pedals. All right. Question number 12. The correct answer is C. C as in cat. Deanna Cortez, got her second DUI in 2018. She got her first one 2 years prior in 2016. She pled down to reckless driving and operating a motor vehicle without valid registration, in the state of New York. She got the first one in New York, but she took a plea deal to reckless driving and operating a motor vehicle without proper registration. That was in 2016. Second one was in 2018. Question number 13. Roasted in open court. Which cast member was chastised in open court by the judge who said they were a Lindsay Lohan wannabe? Was it A, Nicole, B, Jen, C, Lauren, D, Deanna, or E, other? Roasted in open court. Which cast member was chastised in open court by a judge who said they were a Lindsay Lohan wannabe? Cortese? It could be. I'm truly sorry if I'm butchering these people's names. I would have to hear it, and before I can record it to memory. I mean, like I said, in all the episodes I watched, almost never did anybody ever mention the other person's last names. They all went by nicknames or first names. Mike, or the situation, as he would call himself. But other ones that they have nicknames, and that's how they refer to each other. So I couldn't hear anybody out say, well, her name is Sorrentino. I can guess that one because that's how it looks like it would be pronounced. But it could be. I mean, you might be 100% right. And again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering their names. Until I hear it actually said, there's not really any way for me to repeat it by memory. But anyways, Roasted in open court. Which cast member was chastised in open court by a judge who said they were a Lindsay Lohan wannabe? Question number 13. The correct answer is A, as in apple. Nicole Snooki. Snooki was chastised by a judge in open court, and he called her a Lindsay Lohan wannabe. Did you know college students studying social media and reality TV and its effects on those ages 13 to 25 at Johns Hopkins University and UCLA watched every episode of The Jersey Shore and all the spin-offs and reboot episodes? They found a total of 1,190 criminal acts and violations of the law, with 318 of them being arrestable offenses. So earlier, when I said that we'll find out later on about those who actually sat down and watched every episode to find out how much they drank. These are the people who actually went through and wrote out, how many times this person drank a lot in the episode, how many times this person drank, and so on and so forth down the list. And then, later on in the episode, they got behind the wheel of a car, or they did something else that was dumb, where it was a criminal act. But they took notes on the entire thing, every single episode. I don't know how many, college students who actually sat down and did this, but their study, area of study that is social media and its effects on those 13 to 25 years of age. And it was just one of the projects that they actually looked at was the, phenomenon of reality TV, and the Jersey Shore was part of that. Question number 14. How much income did Mike the Situation forget to pay income taxes on? Was it A, $800,000, B, $225,930, C, $1 million, or D, $9 million, or E, other? How much income did Mike the Situation forget to pay income taxes on? Either way you go, whichever one's the right answer, that's a hell of a lot of income to forget to pay to pay taxes on. Not property, but taxes on. I don't know about you, but I'm worried about when I put a deduction down as a business expense, and it could be for $15. And I'm like, oh, days, they're going to catch that one. Is that one wrong? Can I write that off as a tax deduction? I'm worried about a $15 thing, thing on my taxes. And we're talking hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of paid for, taxes on income. Hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And I just realized I didn't put myself back in my stupid little window. I'm sorry. I'm doing the little mini me thing, like millions of dollars, and nobody could even see it. You taking off, Tamara? You have a great week ahead. Thank you for being here tonight. How much income did the Situation forget to pay taxes on? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, to question number 14 is D, as in dog. He forgot to pay income taxes on $9 million. Yes, $9 million. He forgot to pay income taxes on. Didn't say he was the brightest star in the sky, but that's a lot of money to forget to pay taxes on. All right. Question number 15. What New Jersey law enforcement agency arrested Snooki in 2010? Was it A, New Jersey State Police Patrol? Was it B, the Seaside Heights Police Department? C, the Boardwalk Police Department? D, the Atlantic City Police? Or E, other? What New Jersey law enforcement agency arrested Snooki in 2010? Got less than 10% of the standard sentencing range for it. Again, if it was any one of us, they would have thrown the book at us and hit us, and we'd still be let down for the count. But you got a high powered attorney, high profile attorney. Apparently, it can get you out with things like that. And unfortunately, that is our justice system. The rich keep on getting away with more and more, and the poor keep on going to jail. And it's a revolving system for the poor, and the rich just get away with it. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, I don't know how else to word that. But what law enforcement agency arrested Snooki in 2010? Barry and the Chipmunks. Joe Friday. Just the facts, man. Just the facts. Dragnet reference there. Good one, Lemon Pie. I used to love watching the original black and white Dragnet episodes with the beatniks and the hippies. All right. Which law enforcement agency arrested Snooki in 2010? The correct answer to question number 15 is B as in boy. The Seaside Heights Police Department were the ones that arrested Snooki in 2010. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Question number 16. Snooki was sentenced to 20 hours of community service in 2010. How many of those hours did she actually complete? Was it A, 16 hours, B, 6 hours, C, 60 minutes, D, 20 hours, or E, other? Question number 16 of 20. Snooki was sentenced to 20 hours of community service in 2010. How many of those hours did she actually complete? How many hours? TDQ's going with A, question mark. Could be. No, it's a guess. A, question mark. We'll find out. Question number 16 of 20. E, 10 minutes. The rest she conned Vinny into doing for her. Because he was shooting chipmunks. Yeah, I Good Hank 840. Good evening, Good Hank 840. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great week. Question number 16. The correct answer is A as in apple. She did 16 hours. The 4 hours that she did not do was suspended. They suspended the 4 hours because the cleanup work that her and others had been sentenced to do the community service work at, pick up trash in the park, was completed in 16 hours. So she was not the only one that had the last 4 hours of their community service suspended. It was a total of 14 individuals who were sentenced to community service hours who had hours that were suspended, and it was considered completed after only doing 16 hours of the 20. Did you know during the run of the original show, all 6 seasons of the Jersey Shore, there was originally supposed to be 14 main members of the show, but a week prior to the first filming, it was cut down to 10 main members, with 5 others coming in later for Jersey Shore vacation and spin-off show called Snooki and JWoww. There was originally supposed to be 14 members, but they cut it down to 10. That was after the pilot. The pilot filmed, and there were 14 members in the pilot. And no, I cannot give you the names of all of them because I did not see the actual pilot itself. So I don't know who was in there and who wasn't. But that is just one of the trivia questions on the thing about reality TV. All right, question number 17. Which cast member of the Jersey Shore was barred from entry into Italy for 6 months and asked to apologize for their behavior? Was it A, Mike the Situation, B, Deanna, C, Nicole, D, Ronnie, or E, other? Which cast member of the Jersey Shore was barred from entry into Italy for 6 months and asked to apologize for their behavior? Question number 17 of 20. Barred from entry into Italy, the country, not an Italian restaurant in New Jersey, but the country. Barred from entry for 6 months and asked to apologize for their behavior. I blame everything on Ronnie. He's a real piece of work, isn't he? I hope as he ages, he gets a little wiser. Al Pacino. Al Pacino was barred from Italy. I'm sorry, I'm looking this one up on my notes. Wish I would have put notes next to each and every one of them so I knew which page they're on. I got like 11 pages of notes. This is question number 17. All right. Which cast member of the Jersey Shore was barred from entry into Italy for 6 months and asked to apologize for their behavior? The correct answer is C, as in cat. Snooki. What did she do? She got drunk in public intoxication in Italy while she was there on vacation in Florence. She went out on a wild night out in Florence, Italy, and was stopped and detained for public intoxication. She was barred from entry into the country for 6 months and asked to apologize. She wrote out an apology to them, and was allowed to then, after the 6 months, allowed to resume her visitations to Italy. But it happened in Florence, Italy. Question number 18. Which cast member not only delayed their return to Jersey Shore family vacation, they almost got the show canceled? Was it A, Zach, B, Lauren, C, Mike, D, Chris, or E, other? Which cast member not only delayed their return to the Jersey Shore family vacation, they almost got the show canceled? Question number 18 of 20. Not that one. Question number 18 of 20. The correct answer is C, as in cat. Mike, the situation, Sorrentino, delayed their return to the Jersey Shore and almost got the spin-off Jersey Shore family vacation canceled because he was written in as a main character. And without them, they were like, okay, how do we keep on going on with the show with one of the members gone? So they actually sat down and they planned to write him out for a couple episodes, but they needed him back in the show. So they almost canceled the show, the Jersey Shore family vacation, because of his absence. Question number 19. What is the name of the room which contains the iconic hot tub on the show? Is it A, the smush room, B, the slip and slide room, C, the bodily fluid room, D, the nail room, or E, other? What is the name of the room which contains the iconic hot tub on the show? Question number 19 of 20. They went on without seasons, without Sammy. Was Sammy even? I gotta look that up and see if Sammy's sweetheart, Gina Cola. Could be all the above. The bacteria trap. A, but the hot tub was on the roof. Little Linda says the smush room was a bedroom. question number 19 of 20. Those are all earlier questions. 17, 18, 19. All right, the correct answer to the question, what is the name of the room that contained the iconic hot tub? The correct answer is A as in apple, the Smush Room. That is what the question that I have down here is, what is the name of the room that contained the iconic hot tub? That's exactly there. That's all I have is the Smush Room. It didn't say where the iconic hot tub was, in a bedroom, on a roof, in the driveway. It didn't say. I just wrote the question down as it appeared on the trivia. It was on the deck. It was somewhere. Sorry if the question is misleading. Question 20. What kind of stuffed animal was Snooki obsessed with during the show's run before she became obsessed with pickles? Was it A, whales, B, lizards, C, crocodiles, D, mountain lions, or E, other? What stuffed animal was Snooki obsessed with during the show's run? I know the guy who owned the building. Cool. Got to go feed my doggies. Thank you, Will, and everyone. Take care. You as well, Gayla. And I hope you get better soon. Lemon Pie and Sal are both going to see it, so is Out of the Shadows. Excuse me. Bob Barker. You know, there's a real company called Bob Barker, and it has nothing to do with Bob Barker from The Price is Right. Bob Barker is a company that makes a lot of items for the federal and state prison system. Bob Barker. They make everything from televisions to MP3 players to hats. They supply a lot of stuff to the federal and state prison system. Bob Barker, I think it might be in Bob Barker Enterprises. Well, there's a real company out there called Bob Barker. Out of the Shadow says she always slept with a crock when she was passed out drunk. Question number 20 of 20. The correct answer is C as in cat, crocodiles. And Mr. Pickles is from what, Futurama? Pickles? I can't remember. I think it's Futurama. For some reason, that's the first thing that popped in my head was Mr. Pickles from Futurama for some reason. But that's what she was obsessed with, was crocodiles before Mr. Pickle. They got paid to act. Believe it or not, every cast member of the Jersey Shore was paid to take acting lessons, to learn how to exaggerate everything that happened in their daily lives. Every single cast member had an acting coach that came to them in the first part of the show and helped them learn how to exaggerate everything. So even what you saw on television you thought was real was exaggerated because they received acting lessons. 5 of the dumb things the cast did. 1, they committed felony assaults. 2, admitted to cheating on spouses or girlfriends or boyfriends or tried or talked about it. 3, drunk driving. 4, theft against vendors or hotels or restaurants. 5, filmed 6th season of them being dumb and clueless. All right. You do not have to give yourself a score. Some people like to keep track of how many they got right and how many they got wrong. Either A, B, C, or D. You can pick, or you can pick other. E. Again, we are only playing for fun and entertainment. We are not playing, and no one is better at anybody else at this. You can use logical deduction or phone a friend or ask your significant other on the couch or the person at the Love's truck stop or whatever. But, there is no cheating in this. And I tell people all the time, doesn't matter how you come up with the answer. You could have one of the cast members sitting next to you and they help you for all I care. It's not cheating. But some people like to give themselves a letter grade. Again, you do not have to do that. Don't leave yet. We still have the missing and endangered to come. Okay. I am excited that I am collaborating with several incredible organizations to help raise awareness about missing and endangered individuals. These include the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which tirelessly works to locate missing kids and prevent exploitation. The Charlie Project works in a valuable database documenting missing person cases from across the United States. The FBI, which investigates critical cases involving missing persons. NamUs, the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, which provides tools and resources to solve missing and unidentified person cases. Together, we aim to shine a light on these cases, support the families impacted, and keep their stories alive in hopes to bring resolution. Your engagement with this content may play a vital role in the mission, and thank you for helping spread the word and making a difference. Again, additionally, I am not paid to do this. I do this out of my own free will every week that I put this trivia together. I put together a selection, not just highlighted cases that they want me to, bring forth, but I picked ones randomly from their databases to shine a light on. The first one tonight is Gary Edward Panino, age 67 as of 2024. He was last seen in Denver, Colorado. His weight is between 240 and 250 pounds. He is 5'5" to 5'7", depends upon if you believe the driver's license information, which is the top photo. But 5'5" to 5'7" in that area. He has no scars or known tattoos. Details. Gary Edward Panino simply went on a walk like he had done so many times before. And he just simply vanished without a trace. Like he was there 1 minute and poof, he was gone. There are no rivers, no lakes, or anything where he could have fallen off or slipped off a bridge near his home. Within I think 8 miles of his home is the nearest river in Denver, Colorado, where he disappeared from. So that wasn't an option. Did he get hit by a car and his body got shot off into a field? We don't know. But right now, he was there. He went for a walk like he did most nights to clear his mind and for exercise. And all of a sudden, he's there one day and gone the next. Gary Panino is an Hispanic male who had no reason to disappear. He had a home, several cars and trucks that were all paid for. He did not owe money like a mortgage. He was underwater on a mortgage or anything. He had everything that you would probably want. He had a good job. He had people who loved him and missed him. He had no history of drug or alcohol or mental illness is in his past. Additionally, But Gary again was here one day and gone the next, and nobody knows where he went or what happened to him. Maybe you've seen something back when he disappeared, or you've seen him recently, or you know where he is. The tip line that is on the screen there, 720-91-6911. You can remain anonymous if you know anything about what happened or where Gary is today in 2025. Next is Lori Ann Thiel, age 63 as of 2024. Disappeared from Aurora, Colorado. Her weight is between 110 and 120 pounds. She is 5'7". No known tattoos or scars, but has discolored skin on her left elbow and forearm. A birthmark where the skin was a slightly darker color than the rest of the skin on her arm. Okay, it's not like, oh, it's a spot. No, we're talking a large area of her arm and elbow area. On or about 10/1 of 1991, Lori Ann Thiel vanished without a trace. She was living in a roommate situation in Aurora, Colorado at the time with an older man. When she had not been heard from in some time, they went back to the home to check on her. This is her friends and family. The roommate said she packed up her some of her belongings and left with the man driving a black 1970s or 1980s Trans Am or sports car that looked like that. Whatever, and it's important here, is the older roommate has been excluded from any part in her disappearance, and she has vanished without a trace. Nobody knows what happened to her. This again is from 1991. There has not been a body that's turned up with no name in the morgue. There has been no use of her social security number or any of her identification since then. But there was speculation that she may have left Aurora, Colorado with a friend who may have had a car, a sports car, but nobody knows that part. Only the phone conversations people were told about this. And that she may have left Aurora, Colorado, headed to Hollywood, California, or Los Angeles, California area. She could be anywhere in between Colorado or Aurora, or something else nefarious may have happened to her. Nobody knows at this time what happened for sure. Maybe you've seen something, or or you've seen her since then. Again, she would be in her 60s today, so you would have to age this photo, but this is the only photo that is on the FBI and on the Charlie Project's website. It's the only photo they have. No one has done an age-enhanced photo of her. The tip line number, again, that is on the screen is for the Aurora, Colorado Police Department, where you can leave a tip. You can remain anonymous if you know anything about what happened to her. And you can call 303-627-3100 and leave a tip if you know anything. Today's headline story does not mean forgotten tomorrow. Bring home the West boys. This is Orrin and Orson West. We know that they both have been murdered, and Jacqueline and their adoptive parents have both been convicted of their murders. But as of right now, in 2025, January, they are refusing to tell authorities what they did with either of the boys' bodies. But just because they are yesterday's headline news does not mean that they are forgotten. Their family, their friends, their loved ones, and the community out there at large, the world, wants them to be returned so their family can get closure. Without them and without their remains being brought back and buried, there is no closure. And just imagine if you were one of their family members and somebody had a tip that they're holding on to, that they saw Jacqueline acting, foolishly in an area somewhere else, or they saw their vehicle somewhere and they didn't bother to call it in because they've been arrested and convicted. Well, that tip could help bring the closure to the family. Just something as simple as that. Thank you again to everyone who is here tonight to play trivia. I hope that you enjoyed the content. But yeah, Inner Peace, never forget the boys. Thank you, Sal. It's very important to me. I have had friends, that have disappeared before. I've had family members that have disappeared. Give you a little bit, a bit of an example. About 5 years ago, my uncle was hit by a car and murdered in upstate Minnesota. We needed to find his brother, my other uncle, and nobody knew where he was. We went to his last address where we knew where he lived. His girlfriend said she hadn't seen him in 8 or 9 months. And we're like, did you fill out a missing persons report? No, she said. We don't know where he is. He's just not here. And she shut the door, refusing to help us in any way beyond that. Now, my uncle has had a history of substance abuse that goes along with his mental health issues. And when he's off his medication, he self-medicates. And that then makes him homeless because he can't keep anything together. So we went to downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul looking for him. And everywhere we went, nobody had anybody that had been ever in the homeless shelter with his name. That's because he kept on every time he went to the homeless shelter, he registered underneath a different name. And they don't exactly ask people for identification at a homeless shelter. Well, wait a minute. I need to see a driver's license, Kenneth. If you don't have a driver's license, we're not going to give you a bed tonight. Well, he just picked a different name every time. And we hadn't had a photograph of him or anything to show them, like, is this a person? Have you seen this guy? We didn't have that option because he doesn't like photographs and he doesn't like dealing with, with people of authority. So, especially when he's not on his medication. So, but we ended up finding him by luck, absolute freaking luck. We found him, but it took us. His brother was killed on a Thursday, and it took us a week and a couple of days before we just happened to find him by circumstances. Knocking on doors, different soup kitchens and homeless shelters in the downtown. This is the middle of the freaking winter in downtown Minneapolis, ladies and gentlemen. It couldn't have been more than like 8 or 9 degrees outside, but we found him. Sub to my friend, something to talk about, broken justice. Good evening, Cheryl. I hope you had a terrific week. But without, if somebody went missing like that from your family, wouldn't you want somebody to help you? Call in a tip, something to go on to help narrow it down. And these families, if you've ever been to the Charlie Project's website, you can go there and search by geographic location. Put your own city in, and you'd be surprised. Probably, if you live in a larger or a medium-sized metropolitan area somewhere in the United States, how many missing persons cases are out there for your area? I did one for my area, the actual city that I live in. There are 23 people who are listed on the Charlie Project for missing from 1940 through now that have disappeared and nobody knows where they are. They were here and then gone. And they update the database quite often. They have highlighted cases that they put out there as well. A spotlight on cases. So does the FBI. They both do the same thing. Very nice change of pace. Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you, Calisa. Sorry. There's no reason to be sorry. We all have a life to live. You know, sometimes we just have to stop and think about other people. We should do an awful lot more. And I'm the first one to admit that. I mean, I get tunnel vision in my life, you know, between work and family, and I just deal with what's right in front of me. I don't have time to pay attention to these other things that are off over here on the side. Nose, not nose. Out of the shadow with Ginger says, my girl Cheryl. I still can't believe for all these years that we've been friends. I've always spelled her name with a C. I had it saved in my contacts and everything as with a C and not an S. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. This is Evelyn, Super Chat Cat, using a different account. Did you ever get close to finding your brother, Will? No. At least we don't think we ever got close. Never found him. Just one of those cases. Just they're here today, gone tomorrow. But a lot of people in my family believe that he probably changed his name and went on with his life, especially after my father, you know, pretty much disowned him. Give you a little bit of background on that. My father was raised in the first part of my life. My father was Roman Catholic, very devout Roman Catholic. Then, after the Roman Catholic Church closed in our small community in Wisconsin, in its place became a Catholic church. So we all became Catholic then. I mean, if you've ever, you know, studied, you know, and read about what the difference is between a Roman Catholic Church and a Catholic Church, it's a lot more freedom as a Catholic than you would do with a Roman Catholic. Because my father was very devout in that. Well, my brother is older than me, and my father pretty much disowned him because he said he joined a cult, and that's how he put it. Now, after my brother disappeared, he still wrote home to my mom, you know, letters every now and then. But, you know, the cult that he said he joined, that could have been anything. Could have been a Baptist church. It could have been a Lutheran church. But those were all cults, you know, and just not acceptable to my father. My father was, you know, a farmer, a hardworking man. He kept his nose down, you know, and he kept on moving forward. And a lot of those ethics and morals that he had, you know, he instilled in me. Stand on your own 2 feet. Don't trespass on others. You know, and I passed these things on to my son. But my brother disappeared. Nobody ever heard from him again. The letters just all of a sudden stopped one day. We still have all the letters. My mom actually saved all the letters that, you know, that he had sent her. She had a little makeup bag, you know, like suitcase thing, a little blue makeup bag, and she used to take all the letters and put them in there, in that makeup bag. She never kept makeup in it. It was always just like school letters, report cards, and stuff like that from all of us. And then she, you know, kept them all together with a rubber band around them all the letters that my brother would send home. And they were, well, some of them were he was in Minnesota. Others, he was in the Chicago area. But yeah, here today, gone tomorrow. Another. Nobody knows where he went. The only picture we have of him is a picture of him in the local newspaper at a science fair. Because my father, growing up, was not a photographer. You didn't have like school photos like you do today. I mean, yeah, there may be something out there from the school that they kept on their end, but you didn't have picture day every single year where your family paid. Because we live in a small farming community. It's not the same like you would think of like West Coast or somewhere else like Chicago or whatever. You might have a photo, but I don't think there was any like yearbooks or anything like that like there is today. I'm talking about the extent of it. They probably existed, in some capacity, but in our community there was only what 300 people total who lived there. I think my sister, my oldest sister, who's still alive, she was one of four graduating in that school. It's pretty small. I mean, it's changed a lot since we all grew. I think now, like during the summertime, the population balloons to about 700, 800 people. But those people are just there for the summer and then they're gone. They don't stick around to raise a family there. There ain't much there. There's not even a technically a stoplight. There's a blinking four-way stop in the town square. That's it. A couple stop signs. It's a great little community to raise a family if you want to live someplace that's close enough to major cities, but not you don't have to deal with all the shit from the major city. Maybe there's a clue in the letters, Will. I have it. I have all of it. If there was Super Chat Cat, if there was anything in those letters, we have scoured through them all. Every single letter. There's no return addresses listed on them. The only way we know where the letters came from is the stamp for cancel the postage out. And where they're. I mean, it doesn't even mean that he was really in that area. That's just where the postage was canceled. Minneapolis, Chicago, Illinois. So we figure, well, he had to be in that area at some time. But back then, you didn't have to put return addresses on an envelope. This is back in the 70s. This is not like 2025. Where today you have to put a return address, and there's ways to track it with the printed like barcode on the bottom of what major post office it went through. But I've got them all, and we've gone through every single one of them because I mean, trying to find my brother, me and my sister, well, she's no longer with me. She's since passed about 6 or 7 years ago now. Because there's my brother, then I have two sisters, then there's me, and then I have two younger sisters. Yeah. But I was always closest to the sister who was just a little bit older than me. She was 2 years older than me. But we always palled around, and then my sister below me is 2.5 years, something like that, younger. And then there's the baby of the family. But we originally started off, and I still have them to this day. We have the actual Rolodexes that you put the paper cards in. I know these younger whippersnappers out there have no idea what a Rolodex is. This predates the internet. That's how old I am. Yeah. But we made contacts as we were searching for people in different areas, different jobs and fields, and people who knew them, growing up. And we would periodically, as email became available and more widespread, and we kept track of people on the internet, and we would call them or message them or send them a letter or a postcard, keep in contact with them as they grew and their lives changed. But If my brother is around today, if he's alive, he would be in his 70s. So that's how many, how many years are between us all. You had one on your desk at work? Yeah, Sal is correct. I live in Washington State now. I was born and raised in Wisconsin and lived there for most of my life. We still have our family farm. See, my sister's son, not her biological son, but my sister's son by marriage, still lives on our family farm. We haven't farmed it since the 1980s. We lease out all the property. But the back part of the property, they put an above ground gas line, natural gas pipeline across it. And they pay a residual to us every year for that pipeline, and they maintain it. But and it pays the property taxes on the place. Um, Now my sister's son uh, lives in the house on the property, and the outbuilding that is there is like I can call it like a 4-car, or garage stable thing. It's got a lean part over, and there's like chickens and stuff there that he has. It's for his own use, and there's other things stored in the garages. There's other outbuildings besides that, but he takes care of the property. He doesn't have to pay anything. Of course, property taxes. If the building needs maintenance, that's his job. If the house needs work, that's his job to take care of it. And it's in exchange for him not having to pay rent or anything else while he lives there. But the property, there, the house and all the outbuildings and everything else was owned originally 5 ways, um, not 6, because we can't give it, a 6-way split for something there for you don't know where the hell the other person is. You still have a Rolodex? I've got 2. I've got 2 of them. One's on the actual spindle, goes around and around, and the other one's it's in a flat thing that it's got the alphabet A through Z, but there is no Z section. Don't know. I've never met anybody that I know of with the last name that starts with a Z. I'm sure there are people out there that have last names that start with a Z, but still, I've never met somebody or somebody in the Rolodex. So we just took the Z out and expanded it, other letters or other category. You had a Rolodex at work for years, says Sal. Yeah. But my oldest sister, still keeps in contact. We now, instead of like everything, updating the Rolodexes that we have, we now have a file, a PDF file where we, in spreadsheet where we keep, updates of, with all the contacts that we've made. Unfortunately, over the years, a lot of people have passed away. They've passed on because none of us are getting any younger, and none of us get out of this life alive. So, well, are your siblings full siblings? I know your mom remarried that awful man. See, my 2 older sisters and my 2 younger sisters are full siblings. So all 5 of us are siblings. My brother has a different mother, but we all have the same father. So I guess technically my brother would be the one that's missing, would be my half brother. His mother died after giving birth to him. And then my father remarried to my mom, and blah, the kids just kept on flowing out of my mom for a lot of years. But yeah. And my mom remarried some serious winners. The one she married was a gun runner for the Aryan Nation in northern Idaho. That's probably the one you're speaking of. He was a real winner. He used to sit on the couch every night with a shotgun. He'd make my sisters, when they were in elementary school, they came home, he'd make them sit on the couch next to him. And he'd sit there and load and unload a shotgun over and over again. And then, I'm going to kill your mother if she comes home late. Loading it, unloading it, loading it, unloading it, over and over again. That will mess with your freaking head so much. Thankfully, for the most part, both of my two younger sisters are, they're pretty much, well adjusted. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it took them quite a few years, both of them, with therapy to get past all that. Out of the shadow, you're one of 8 kids. 8? Oh, you're number 8 of 8. That's a big family. That's a big family. See, my looking at my siblings. Obviously, I don't know about my brother, but take my oldest sister. She had 5, all boys. My second sister, second oldest one, that's just older than me. She had nothing but girls. She had 3 girls. Then there's me. I have 1 daughter, 1 son. And then there is my sister below me. She's got 3 girls, 1 boy. And then my youngest sister, the baby of the family, she has 3 girls, 1 boy. So I'm the one with the least amount of children. Same wife. I mean, my daughter and my son are 18 years apart. That's a whole nother story. 18 years between my daughter and my son. QDQ, you're number 2 of 2. Ooh, Cheryl is number 7 of 9. That's a big family. I'm sure my youngest sister, the baby of the family, her oldest is the only one in the family that is not Catholic or Protestant or Lutheran. He is Christian, but he is a member of the Latter-day Saints. And I don't know how his wife is able to deal with it right now, because he won't get off of her. I think they're on number 4 right now, and they're all like babies, like young kids. They got married and then boom, 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 boom. She's been pushing them out nonstop. I don't know how he affords it. I don't know how anyone affords, kids. I mean, hell, I got 2. I mean, at least mine are distance apart. I mean, we got done raising 1 and before the next one came. And not that my boy is going to make it easy on me. Where he puts the food, I have no idea. He wakes up in the morning, he starts eating, and he won't stop eating. If allowed, he'll eat all day long. Not just meals, but snacking between every one of them. He's going to put me in the poorhouse. I joke about that, but no, he won't get off of her. They just started a YouTube channel yesterday, and I'm helping them put together, and figure out how to do YouTube uploads and and SEO, search engine optimization, and all this stuff. How to set up a YouTube channel. I'm actually helping him, go through all that right now, because they made one short little video. It's about 2 minutes long that they uploaded, but there's no description to it, and I was like, hey, yo, what's going on here? I'm right here. Hello, reach out to me. I know what I'm doing here. I have 5, and I'd be rich if I didn't have kids. BB and beyond, amazing. My poor dad, LOL. Is stalking Ginger. You are not my stalker. That position has already been filled. Jeez. Where do all my siblings live? Let's see. One sibling lives in Colorado. One lives a city away from me. Like not this. Well, yeah, I guess you technically call it a city away. Um, and then one lives in upstate Minnesota, and one is sadly deceased. So I guess if we have to assign a residency for her, her residency would be in the state of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, to be exact. And they only had your brother and you. uh, the long story of longer version of the story is why there's 18 years difference between my daughter and my son. Is my wife is a breast cancer survivor. After we had, my daughter was born, they told her the chances of her carrying a second child to term was very, very little chance that it was ever going to happen. And we went through the entire, the chemo, radiation, the surgery for the removal, double breast removal. And she was supposed to go in to have a complete hysterectomy. But we went to the surgery center to have the hysterectomy. And we showed up that on the day of the appointment. And they said, we can't do it because you have a fever. And by putting you under anesthesia, the chances of complications are increased. So they said, we'll schedule this for a couple weeks out, and hopefully the cold or whatever you have, be gone by then. So a couple weeks later, we came back like normal, like we did it felt like forever, every time for the chemo and radiation. The first thing we would do is we'd check in at the desk, and then we'd walk on down the hallway and have to have blood work done every single time. And that consumed our lives for so long. So we checked in at the desk, and then we went down. She had to have her blood drawn and everything else. And then we go back and we sit in the lobby. What feels like forever, like every time it was there. It was just the same thing. You go through something like that. They tell you, don't make friends with anyone who's in the lobby because you don't know if they'll be here tomorrow. You make friends with them, they could be dead today. And that's true. We saw a lot of people who were there every single day getting chemo, like my wife. And they never made it. They were gone. Some of them were in their 20s, 30s. They were just there today, gone tomorrow. But anyways, so we sat there in the lobby, and they finally called us back. And we were sitting there in the exam room, and the doctor came in and he said, we can't do your surgery. And we're like, he had this look on his face like somebody just sucker punched him in the gut really hard. Now, this man came out of retirement. I should start with that. He came out of retirement to take my wife's case on for her. She had metaplastic carcinoma of the breast. 1 in 16 million women under the age of 40 will ever have metaplastic carcinoma, and my wife was one of them. It's once in a lifetime kind of a diagnosis that any surgeon, oncologist, anyone will ever see, metaplastic carcinoma. And my wife's actual case is being studied. She's not known by name, she's known by a case number, but colleges all over the world are studying her case. How in the hell did she get this? And how did it become so advanced so quickly? But anyways, but he looked like he's been sucker punched in the gut. And immediately, and I looked at my wife, she looked at me, and we thought, fuck, the cancer's back. And then now that brings up a whole nother situation, man. Do you go through another round of chemo, another round of radiation? She barely made it through the first one. Because, the entire point of chemotherapy is to kill the cancer before you kill the patient. But, when we're looking at her, at each other, and we're just like, we felt it. Like somebody just nailed us, in the gut. And I mean, that doesn't sound like it'd be all that brutal, but it is. And then he said, no, it's not what you think. It's not the cancer. And we're like, what? What do you mean? He's like, we can't do the hysterectomy because you're pregnant. And now we have an 8-year-old boy, a healthy, extremely energetic 8-year-old son. And that's how long it has been. We are still within the 10-year window, as they call it, a 10-year window of it could return. If you've watched the Taco podcast, my other channel, you'll now know that my wife is in stage 4 liver failure. And we're dealing with it all over again. And I told her, you can't die. You can't get out of this marriage that easy. That's a joke. Dark humor. We're very dark individuals. But, I mean, I really believe, and I always have, that God gives me exactly what I need in this world. And when it came to my son, there was never a question if we were going to, go through with it. I believe that, that everything that I do in this world and everything that you do and everybody else, we have a purpose in this world. We may not know it. We may not have the roadmap. Tomorrow afternoon, you could, be going into the grocery store or the gas station, to put gas in your car, and you hold open the door for someone. That tiny, tiny, tiny little act could be the difference from saving someone who's just on the edge of throwing themselves off that cliff. And they realize right then and there, in that split second, there's someone out there who's nice enough to somebody else who they don't know, who gives a shit, just to open the door for them. And that could be the difference. And maybe that person, will go on to cure leukemia. We don't know, because every one of us has got a reason to be here in this world. There's no reason to be miserable. God knows, there's more than enough reasons to be miserable about everything that happens in our lives. But everything happens for a reason. And I really, truly believe that. So you never know. You don't know what your calling is. I mean, I was given a son. Is that my reason for being here? Is my reason to be here to spread awareness for autism? Is it to be here to entertain, the masses? I don't know. I have no idea because the man forgot to give me my booklet to tell me what to do and how to do it. So I do it the best way I can. But with that, I'm going to wrap up tonight's stream. I want to thank everybody again for being here for trivia night. And again, thank you. It's never going to be enough for how I truly feel about everybody being here. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, a like and subscribe. It's all I ever ask. But everyone, I hope that you have a terrific week ahead. Look for the poll question that'll be on the community tab here on my YouTube channel tomorrow. And I should be up about 10 o'clock in the morning. But I'm never going to link it back to trivia night in case they demonetize it again, because that's the way YouTube rolls. So everyone, have a good one. And until next time, you stay safe out there. And as Purple, if she's still here, always says, you never know who's going to be standing next to you next, and you never know who's going to be knocking at your door. We are, Kitty Cube. We are two peas in a pod. I'm married.